The most inequitable policy since the end of Jim Crow lynchings is in front of us. A policy that reduces education choices during COVID susceptibility, that is going to cause irreparable harm to grandparents living in those 3-generation homes. As surely as your child doesn't go a full school year without contracting the cold virus or the flu virus, that's how likely it is that your child avoids the COVID-19 virus. School openings are going to bring COVID-19 transmissions. It's inevitable. Not all kids can keep their masks on in school. Not all students or even bathroom custodians who try to endure COVID threats are going to ensure that the sink handles, the urinal levers, the toilet seats will be free of droplets. And what about the door handles into the bathrooms or into the school itself? What of the desks, the chairs that can retain seen or unseen saliva from a sneeze, a cough, or just innocent touching? What of handling the wrong sandwich in the classroom refrigerator? Or are schools instead going to urge open unrefrigerated food and expose your kids to trichinosis? Even when the chairs are well labeled, many second graders can't find their own chair in their classroom. If switching classrooms, many 7th and 8th graders will at times just seat themselves at the wrong desks. Now, few children are going to be harmed by these transmissions. The rate of illness among those 20 and under is exceptionally low. So few, if any, school children are going to suffer long-term harm. They have a runny nose for a week. No worse than they encounter 3 to 5 times every school year. So what's the problem? The problem is the children's return to homes where there's a vulnerable adult. In school, they're almost surely going to contract a strain of this virus. Jenny can't be assured of not passing an item over to Tiffany. Bobby can't be assured of keeping his mask on in front of anyone. Widespread testing is not going to help because an all clear today can still mean infected tomorrow. Contract tracing, minimal help. A student with a high temperature, if he carries COVID-19, has likely already passed it on to many classmates, and they're all carrying it back to grandma. If you believe an elder in the home is vulnerable to irreparable COVID harm, you simply can't send your kids back to school. Here's the effect on minority families. This is why school chiefs who impel a return to school are going to divide us on racial grounds, and here it really does matter because the effect could be deadly. Black and Latino children live with grandparents far more often than white children live with their grandparents. Whether for financial reasons or cultural reasons, few black grandparents who are accustomed to living with their grandchildren are going to suddenly get a condo of their own. They're unlikely to stop dining with their grandkids, reading to their grandkids, hugging them at bedtime. I believe the grandchild-to-grandparent tether is even stronger in Latino families. In Hartford, I know how prevalent it is. School administrators should be spending the next few weeks improving their online education. In-school prophylactics are bound to fail, even when they're working. The logistics of having to repeat your statement because a mask is hampering your speech, having to be aware of when the 13th person has entered the room, having to stay away completely on certain days, they're all impeding the learning experience. Online learning is good. It's good now, and it's getting better. Schools that will stop these machinations about return tactics and instead shift to online learning, they're going to be doing good for their kids during these times and for the salubrious, healthful times that will come eventually. Online learning is good for children. Schools that abandon the thought of coming back this fall and instead work on online education will be stopping that severe crucible that means skewed education by race and a high risk of minority deaths. I'm Mark Stewart.